So real quick, just want to get an introduction from everybody, like who you guys are, what do you do for LSIG and things like that.
Awesome, absolutely. So my name is Juan Vaca. My pronouns are he, him. By day, I'm a story director at the Coalition and Xbox Game Studios, and I'm also one of the co-founders and current vice president of Latinx In Gaming, a nonprofit organization.
I'll go next. My name is Zoram Tomas Mercado. Pronouns are he, him. By day, I am running a nonprofit organization called Gameheads that teaches students how to build video games. And I run the content creation and live streaming and whatnot. And then for Latinx In Gaming, I am the head of broadcast. So any content related stuff you see on Twitch or YouTube, that's being live, or any videos that were edited, that's through me. And I'll pass it down to JMax.
Hey, my name is Joseph Magallanes, primarily in HR, payroll, and accounting. But as far as what I do for Latinx In Gaming, I am the community director. So I do a lot of community stuff, social media, and I do a little bit of everything for the organization. Yeah.
Perfect. And lastly, I'll go lastly, and thank you, Joseph, for that. So my name is Giovanni Bandicto. I do marketing for a commercial real estate company called JLL, and that's my day-to-day. And with Latinx In Gaming, I do social and event coordination. So I assist JMags on any type of social media initiatives there.
Okay, cool. So a lot of different backgrounds. Like, what got you guys in? And anybody can answer this. What got you guys interested in Latinx In Gaming? Like, how did that come about?
About 6 years ago at GDC, we decided to have a roundtable, and it was the first time that I had seen so many Latino game developers in a room together. And it was like a therapy session. It was like a party. Like, it was, the only thing that was missing was food and music, but it felt like family, and it felt like the first time that I could be myself. And there was just something missing in the community from it. So we decided to keep the events going, stay connected, start a Discord, and things kind of just kept growing. And we kept using the rotation of gaming events. We'd meet at E3, we'd have panels at PAX, and we would let people know that we exist and we're out here doing it. And little by little, that's how we met all these lovely members of the team here as well. So I can tell you how it started, but I think how they can also speak to how they found us and are now having an impact.
Yeah, I'll hop on that. Only because Juan mentioned the GDC roundtable, and that was actually my first time running to Latinx In Gaming. I think that was 2018, right, Juan?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2018. That was 5 years ago. I was a little peanut head. I think I was turning 19 that year. And so I don't know what I was really doing in the industry. Just kind of exposing myself. I had a pass to GDC through some mentors at Gameheads that I mentioned. And I saw Latinx In Gaming. I thought this was something that has happened in the past. Like, I didn't know this was their first roundtable at GDC. So when I got there, it felt like it had been existing for a cool minute because of how cool the community was. And the conversations that we had were about like representation, about language barriers, getting into the industry. And for me, it was very impactful. And then ever since then, I've kind of just, been in the Discord, followed everybody on Twitter, kept in touch with folks. And then after I got a degree and whatnot, in broadcasting, I was able to apply my broadcasting media skills to Latinx In Gaming, which was a very cool full circle for me, and for the rest of my Latinx In Gaming family. And that's kind of like my story started.
I'll touch on my story real quick. Not too as big as Juan's and Zoram's, but I come primarily from payroll and HR, and I was looking for something a little bit more fulfilling. Sorry, my cat's in the background being a bug. And thank you. So yeah, I was looking for a sense of community. I've been a gamer my whole life, and I kind of told myself, like, I'm looking for a place where I can be myself, where I can play video games, talk video games, and just talk to people, right? And I saw someone talking about Latinx In Gaming on Twitter, and I followed the Discord. This was back in late 2019, and I felt the vibes. It was a positive atmosphere. I wanted to get involved, and I reached out to a couple of people. It was a couple of founders of Latinx In Gaming, and I'm like, what can I do to help? And they gave me the opportunity a few months later, and I've been with them since February of 2020, and it's been a blessing. I always say that if it wasn't for that opportunity that they gave me, I wouldn't be here, where I'm at right now. So all the love and the support and the thanks to Latinx In Gaming for everything. Yeah.
And yeah, I can hop right off after that. My story into the nonprofit was I was a marketing intern at a video game company, and one of the founders was my manager at the time. And after my internship ended, she brought me to the side. She's like, "Hey, do you want to join my nonprofit called Latinx In Gaming?" In my head, I was like, "Yeah, of course." I've been following them on Twitter for about months prior to that. So she sent me with an interview with the lovely Juan over here, and I was probably just so scared when I interviewed him for the first time. I was like, I hope I get this. I want to join this group of people. I know they're great people, great cause, and I was so happy to hear that they wanted to let me into that little family. So it was a really great experience, and so I've been working with these people ever since that time. So I was really lucky to be at the right place at the right time.
I want to add on real quick, sorry. I remember when Giovanni said his interview, I remember my interview. I thought it was going to be an interview, like an interrogation, like where your set of skills, but it just felt like an onboarding meeting, as if they had done their research on me, and we're just making sure we're vibing in that meeting. So that threw me off because I had a button up and everything, and they had just hoodies and just chilling. So I thought that was a great. I just remember that very well.
That's pretty cool how all of you got started at different junctures and things like that. And I want to touch on something Juan said. We talking about he went to GDC. It was the first time you saw a bunch of Latinx developers in one spot. And you mentioned something about feeling like almost like you guys didn't exist in a sense, like people ignored you. Like, so how is Latinx in Gaming helping bring Latinx into the forefront, as far as being seen, being heard, and also being supported and being loved?
So when we first started, it did feel very like distant, and it felt very scary because you're often the only like brown person in the room, or you're dealing with things in the industry that are bigger issues of society. And so I think we're being pushed into the corners, and even though we're being allowed into the room, we're not really being allowed to talk. And I think there's a different thing that happens when we're all able to kind of just like look over our shoulders and say like, hey, we can have a real conversation here. And as we started to like grow and give other people visibility into that we exist, we realized like I don't need to be on every interview or every panel. In fact, I can't. But what's important is that we all see and believe in what we're doing. And if you're Latino, you play games, you're a game developer, like the fact that you exist is a win for us. And so one of the things that we decided to do when we were, creating the community was really define like what are our pillars. And so from there, we decided the first and foremost is a inclusive community, right? Like I think when we make room for everyone, like everyone gets a say, and it just makes us stronger. Two, we wanted to be a place of cultural representation. We wanted to be a platform where people could come and celebrate inside jokes, talk about food, the music, all the different things that make us, uniquely special, regardless of the level of cultural investment or attachment that we have. And then finally, we realized how important it was to pay it forward. So professional development became our third, pillar. And so, what we do now is we put on events like Unidos, which is a, telethon on the front page of Twitch to give people the spotlight and let them know, look at all this rad stuff that we as a community of individuals are doing separately. And another thing that we do is Conexión, which is our virtual career fair, where we try to get underrepresented groups hired by getting them some face time with some of gaming's recruiters and prepping them via job interviews, resume reviews, portfolio reviews, and webinars to get them ready for that next step in their career. So we're doing a lot of different things to bring the spotlight to the community, elevate the people that are already doing cool stuff, and then keep them, moving forward with their career path.
And that was something I saw on the website. I was looking like, okay, I saw you had a donate button. Like, okay, what does this go to? And I saw some things, but can you explain a little bit more about where the donations go? This is a question for anybody, by the way, but where the money goes to, how does it help long term? And like, how does it also help amplify the voices of the Latinx community? Because I think that's, like you said, it's something a lot of people don't hear. Like we hear a lot of voices, but not too much Latinx voices.
Absolutely. So, the first 3 years that we, did this, it was just all volunteer and out of pocket. So we basically paid for the buttons that we brought to GDC, the stickers, this sign that's behind me that you can't really see because my screen is buggy. Like Joe paid for it out of his company account and was like, let me slide another one under there and put these graphics on it. So, we're really grassroots. And once we became like an actual 501c3 nonprofit and got like our tax ID and a bank account, the world opened up for us. And so we were able to partner with different companies, put on events, invite companies like Blizzard, Riot, Unity to send recruiters and have a virtual career fair over Zoom. And all that money that we raise goes 100% back into the community via paying for contractors like these lovely gentlemen that are our team, via our grants program that we run throughout the summer so that people say, hey, I need a tablet to, test out the games that I'm writing, or I need a second monitor, or I need a camera so that I can do a job interview. And I've literally, bought the stuff on the company credit card and, put it in shipping and mailed it overseas, so like this is a very grassroots thing. But what we're doing is we're just trying to help the community out via scholarships, game jam prizes, all different ways to up level and allow people a new possibility because the community that has us takes care of us.
Okay, cool. You mentioned a lot about community, and I think that's very huge because a lot of people, they don't focus necessarily on the community. It's about what the organization wants. So how do you guys grow the community? How do you make sure you stay in touch? Or what is it? Mind went blank. But how do you stay, I guess, in touch with what the community wants per se? Then instead of just like, oh, the company wants to go this direction, like you talk about getting a camera in case somebody want to do a job interview or getting the tablet things. So how do you guys stay in touch with just what the community wants?
I'll let J-Mag speak to that because he's the heart of the community.
I mean, it's all about being in the community, talking to the community, asking, being proactive about what they want. And so, there's obviously a lot of layoffs that are happening in tech and in games. And one of the things that we love to do is share these job opportunities, especially if folks are looking for jobs on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and so on and so forth. And we also have, which is a perfect segue, we have something coming up in the next month called Conexión, which is a virtual career fair that we have planned for May 22nd to the 26th. We're inviting all people that want to get into the game industry, not just Latinx background, but BIPOC and allies as well, especially for those that are hurting right now and that are looking for a job and trying to get into the game industry. But as mentioned, it's all about asking what the community want, being proactive about, letting them know, that we're there for them and we're willing to hear them out and help them, importantly.
Okay, that's huge. Like you're not just focused on per se Latinx in gaming. You're also like, hey, look, we're gonna open this to everybody. Like that's pretty huge. And you said what exactly was it again? When was it?
The virtual career fair is May 22nd to the 26th. We have a bunch of things going on that week, webinars, a week of review. So we're reviewing resumes, we're reviewing portfolios, LinkedIn reviews as well, so on and so forth. Everything to prepare the person to be their best self professionally, personally, and career-wise, but ultimately getting them a job or helping them get a job in the game industry or wherever the road leads them to.
Okay. And that's something I also wanted to ask. Well, I didn't say it out loud, but I wanted to ask this question. For somebody like me, I'm obviously not Latinx. I'm not in that industry. How can somebody or anybody that's not a Latinx person, help uplift Latinx voices? Obviously, I know we can donate and things like that, but what are some other ways we could help uplift the voices?
I think some ways that anybody could help uplift anybody is like playing their games. A lot of folks in Mexico and Central America, South America are game developers, and they don't get the type of exposure that folks in the US do. And so looking for those indie games, playing the games, and then if you're a content creator, like streaming the games, maybe even reaching out to a developer and trying to have a conversation about their design choices, whether it's the level design, character design, and just trying to put them on. Other than that, just passing down opportunities like, oh, I heard this company's trying to hire for a software engineer. I know you've been in the industry engineering for a handful of years. I think you should check it out. Just little things like that could go a long way.
Yeah, just to like one up, or to, in addition to Zora, just not one up, but to amplify each other's voices, more than just monetization, just amplifying each other, retweeting, tweeting, just getting that recognition out, I think is all another big thing too.
That's a very good point you made about playing the games. I never thought about, like, I guess, looking for games that aren't totally on my radar, but you were talking about how a lot of them don't have that opportunity. So now you just kind of open my mind. I'm like, man, I haven't even thought about looking for games like that. So thank you for opening my mind to that. And the one of the things I wanted to ask you guys, do hold events, you do hold in-person events and panels and things like that. Do you guys have any panels or events coming up that you want to promote other than the virtual career fair?
So all of May, there's the career fair is at the end of May, but throughout May, we're having different panels about folks in our industry. I think we're having a couple with Riot talking about their new Latinx characters that they implemented into Valorant and League of Legends. So talk about that design process, how they went about that. But you'll always find us at GEC. There's a couple folks that are always giving talks and holding roundtables and panel discussions. Then we also have Unidos, which takes place in September or October. And they have a lot of content creators. We have a lot of content creators. We host different conversations, cooking shows, just whatever the community wants to put out there. And so, yeah, we're very busy in May and in the fall as well.
Nice,
And
nice.
I also just got off a call yesterday talking with the Reed Pop, and we're trying to figure out what our presence is going to be like at PAX West. So, I think whenever there's an opportunity to have some kind of, panel, live event, we want to make sure that we show up or have some kind of presence there because, existing is a worthy celebration.
Definitely look forward to seeing y'all at PAX West. I'll be there, so very excited to see you guys. I don't think I went to the panel this past year because I already had a interview with a company doing the video games and stuff. So I'm definitely going to try to make sure I keep my schedule clear this time for the panel. One of the other questions I wanted to ask you was, when it comes to, we're talking about game developers, but when it comes to content creators, what are some of the things you guys are looking for, like in content creators, whether they are Latinx or they're not Latinx? What are some things you look for content creators to help spread the word of LSIG? I remember the acronym this time. What are some ways you're looking to help? What are some ways you want us to help spread the word of the mission of LSIG, and how we can help?
Yeah, I'll take a quick stab at it, and please feel free, gentlemen, to be in addition. So I think the biggest thing on social media And going back to my other point of amplifying, but just, seeing these reputation online, you want to retweet, you want to comment, and really get that engagement across all social media platforms. So I think that's a big thing also to not only increase representation from the gaming industry, but also to get our message across from as a nonprofit organization.
Okay, great. And let me ask, do you guys have anything else you want to add, whether it's some other stats or things that people should know or anything like that?
Oh, I was just gonna add to one up Gio. I'm kidding, Gio. There's been times where content creators just like hold like charities throughout the month, and they just host a charity for Latinx in Gaming without even talking to us about it. And then we don't find out until they tweet about it. And they're like, hey, we just fundraised X amount of dollars for the entire month. And I think that's really cool because that's something that allows, I mean, they're making content for themselves and then they're using their content to fundraise money, and then they repost it, and that gives Latinx in Gaming some content to repost on Twitter. And it just kind of builds like momentum and like a circle of energy and whatnot. I think it's really cool when folks do that out of their own will. Other than that, like we get a handful of views on Twitch. We are a partner channel. It took us a minute, but we got there, and so we do get front page access, and we get thousands of views for our bigger events. I think that's something that's noteworthy and a big step for us in Latinx in Gaming.
Nice. So anything else anybody want to add? I know I did want to ask about like any stats that are imperative that we should know as well.
So I think, keeping the conversation going is important. So like Zoram said, playing games from our community, talking about us, retweeting, amplifying, it just keeps us relevant, right? And it keeps us knowing, because we're still working behind the scenes, making things happen for the community. But it's also worth, getting that message out via different ways in which the alliance is strong, and we'll come on your show, we'll invite you to our show, and we'll share in the successes.
All right, well, that's all the questions I had. I definitely appreciate you guys taking time out to answer my questions, and I feel like I learned a lot, especially like that huge tip about just reaching out to Latinx developers and playing and streaming their games. Because playing it is cool, but let's stream it too and get the names out. So I definitely appreciate you guys so much. I don't have anything else to add. You guys have any last words or anything?
Yeah, I would just say, follow us on Twitter, visit our website, latinxingaming.com, at Latinos in Gaming. Follow our TikTok, our Insta, our LinkedIn, our Facebook group. You can find us and you can reach out. And if you have ideas or are curious about how to work with us, reach out directly to us at contact@latinxingaming.com. The email goes to all of us, so we're able to kind of quickly respond and figure out how to partner together.
Awesome. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, if you're on Discord, definitely visit us at discord.gg/latinx. Wonderful community there, great vibes. You'll love it. It's a wonderful community.
Nice. I'm gonna need to go join it myself. But thank you guys so much. I definitely appreciate you taking time out for this interview, and I definitely had a blast talking to all y'all. And I think that's pretty much it. So definitely gonna be checking out Latinx in Gaming and using a lot of your advice. I think I followed you on Twitter. If I did, I'm gonna go follow you now. But I appreciate y'all.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.